All right, this is a pre-recording of part of a webinar that's being produced tomorrow on how to teach grammar. And this will be just one part of it, and it's how to avoid common grammar errors, 7 common grammar errors. Now, why do we even focus on grammar? Well, it helps us to create precision in our writing and speaking. And while you don't have to be a grammarian to write well, you should be familiar with some of the basic grammar rules and develop an intuitive sense of the language. So this short live YouTube stream, whatever it is, will provide some tips for getting you through most writing situations to help you avoid 7 common grammar errors. But first, riddle me this, Batman. How do you identify the indirect object of a prepositional phrase? Answer, you don't. If you want to get any writing done, you don't. We don't need all the grammar that is given to us. We don't need to identify all these things. There's just a few grammar things that will get us through most phases. And grammar thing number 1. Grammar tip number 1, you want to stay consistent with tense. If you use a particular tense, either past, present, or future, in the first part of a sentence or a paragraph, you must stay consistent. You must use it throughout. For example, John read the paper and took a nap. That's the past tense. He sleeps on the couch. That's present tense. That's incorrect. John read the paper and took a nap. He slept on the couch. I'm using past tense in both. John reads the paper and takes a nap. He sleeps on the couch. I'm staying consistent with tense. John will read the paper, then take a nap. He will sleep. Future. All right. Stay consistent with tense. Stay consistent with plurality. Now, with gender pronouns, this is changing. Plural is now accepted for describing a singular person. That enables us to remain gender neutral. For example, this used to be incorrect, but now it's correct. A person, singular, should always have their notebooks. That is correct now. A person should always have a notebook. That's correct. People should always have their notebooks, or people should always have notebooks. All right? Incorrect. The class, that's singular, improved their scores by 30%. That's incorrect. The class improved its scores, or people in the class improved their scores. Stay consistent with plurality as well. Used to be incorrect. A person should be allowed to remove their shoes. That's correct. Yep. People should be allowed to remove their shoes. That is a little more less clumsy. A child should be allowed to remove his or her shoes. That's a little bit clumsy. So the top 2 are preferred in this. A child often worries about their first day of school. That's correct, but clumsy. Children often worry about their first. Children often worry about the first day of school. All right. Correct, but clumsy. Correct, correct. Stay consistent. All right. This is where it gets a little dicey. Double pronouns should make sense when one is missing. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. For example, personal pronouns such as I, me, you, him, and she take the place of a proper noun. Examples of common pronouns are seen there. Now, this is how you figure this out. Read the sentence with each of the pronouns or pronoun-noun combinations separately. If the sentence makes sense, you have the correct pronoun. For example, me and her will go to the store. Me will go to the store. Her will go to the store. Nope, that's not correct. She and I will go to the store. She will go to the store. I will go to this. Yep, that's correct. Lisa and her played golf. Lisa played golf. Nope. Her and Lisa played golf. Her played golf. Lisa played golf. Nope. Lisa and she. Lisa played golf. She played golf. That's how you figure out the pronoun-noun combinations. She and Lisa. She played golf. Lisa played golf. All right, clause. Use that for essential clause and which for non-essential clause. And a clause is a part of a sentence that contains a subject or a noun and a predicate or a verb or an action. Now, an essential clause is one that is essential to the meaning of the sentence. The team that worked hard won the game. All right. In the sentence above, this indicates that there was a team. There was more than one team. One team worked hard. There were other teams that did not work hard. Of all the teams, it was the one that worked hard that won the game. That is essential for the meaning of this. Of all the teams, the one that worked hard won the game. We use that. That's an essential clause. All right. A non-essential clause, we use which. That's like a theatrical aside. It has dimension to the idea, but the meaning is still largely intact if the clause were not there. For non-essential clause, the word which should be used along with a set of commas to set it apart. The team which worked hard won the game. And I insert the phrase, by the way. The team, which by the way worked hard, won the game. The team won the game. That's the sentence without the clause. This is non-essential because it doesn't really matter that they worked hard. It's just a theatrical aside. That's how I help remember which are essential and non-essential clauses. If the phrase which by the way could be inserted for which, and it still retains the desired effect, the word which would have commas and be used. The team won the game. The team, which by the way worked hard, won the game. There's only one team. There could be more, but that team won the game. And by the way, they worked hard. Use the word that to indicate that particular one when there is more than one choice. That's essential. Use that in which for non-human entities and who to indicate human entities. As described above, commas should always be used to indicate non-essential clauses, whether used that, which, or who. For example, this is an essential clause. Those students that bought Andy's book received higher grades. All right. Students are human. That's incorrect. It should be those students who bought Andy's book received higher grades. Those students who bought Andy's book, of all the students, the ones who bought Andy's book received higher grades. That is correct. That's an essential clause, who bought Andy's books. And it's essential, so it's not marked off with commas. Those stores, which by the way sold Andy's books, earned money. Stores are not humans, so we use which or that. Those stores that sold Andy's book earned more monies. That's an essential clause. Which is a non-essential clause. Use who if you can substitute he or she in the sentence. Use whom if you can substitute him or her. And one way to remember this is to associate the M in whom with the M in him. Let's see if that makes sense. Who, use she or he. The player whom you picked scored 27 points. Her scored 20. Nope, that does not make sense. The player who you picked scored 27 points. She scored 27 points. He, yes, you would use who. Who, if you can substitute she or he. Whom sang the song? Her sang the song. No, she or he sang the song. Yes. Who sang the song? She sang the song. That is correct. Please describe the boy whom was at the event. Him was at the event. No, he was at the event. So you would use who. Please describe the boy who was at the event. Whom, you use her or him. The person who I am referring to is missing. I am referring to he. That doesn't make sense. I'm referring to him. The person to whom I am referring is missing. I'm referring to him. Bill talked to the clown who he met at the circus. Bill talked to he. That does not make sense. Him. Bill talked to the clown whom he met at the circus. Whom, if you could substitute her or him, it is whom. Who did you give the cookies to? Did you give the cookies to he? No. To whom did you give the cookies to? Did you give the cookies to him? Him, her, whom. Yes. And do not end a sentence with a preposition. And a preposition links a noun or pronoun to some other word. You can remember preposition by looking at the last 8 letters. Position. Preposition tells the position of something: in, above, with, her. And here are some common prepositions. Generally, who are you going to the game with? You don't want to end the sentence with a preposition. Whom are you going, with whom are you going to the game? In the paper, there were grammar errors throughout. There were grammar errors throughout the paper. They came by. They came by the house. Generally, we do not want to end with a preposition. Time to come in. Time to come in the house. All right, just some basic grammar errors that will, and these are some ideas to help you prevent these.